Good afternoon, I'm Stanley Pacion. I have a poem here for you called Corporal. It has a subtitle, All Night Love Encounter. We have the sunlight streaming in here in New York City. It's a late afternoon, beautiful late afternoon. Let me begin it. Corporal, All Night Love Encounter. The corporal, he saw time. He saw 30 seconds. He saw temporal instants. He saw the spin, the vortex, the event plane where all disappeared. But to him, it was real, just like any other object in the book of life. He was turning the corner into his living room. He saw the couch become clear light, transparent, a configuration of lines, blue lines on white background, and at the bottom right-hand corner, a lined rectangular box spelled out blanks to be composed at a later time. They read, name, address, and project title. Corporal walked out of the dream. He slipped into another familiar space. He lay upon the bed on his back. He bent forwards and touched his feet. He grasped his toes. He was smarting. He was hurting all over. He suffered. It seemed every muscle, every joint ache. My, what a plethora of subjects crossed his mind. The corporal, he saw every crack and crevice of heaven. He rolled up, brought his knees to chest, and then, white light, he caught such gigantic power that night he broke the bubble and went beyond. He went way beyond the stars. He walked a field. The wheat had grown up to his waist. He ran full speed, and he could see himself. He could see himself, stark, dark figure in the distance. While he ran breakneck towards horizon of black and yellow, checkerboard colored sky. It was at that moment he turned to ask her. Their clothes were scattered throughout the parlor. It was late night, and a view of lower Manhattan lights, the buildings, street lamps, bridges burned out the window, the illumination awesome, out the window view from the 25th floor of the high-rise. He asked how it had been for her. Corporal wondered, because they had never left the front room couch. In the sadness of re-entry, Earth's gravity began to exert its heavy hold, and she, adopting chapter and verse from the good Dr. Leary's work, replied, 1,000 times better it was. 1,000 times better? Corporal queried. Their clothes were scattered throughout the parlor. Corporal flashed in Technicolor, a motion picture screen. It occupied the theater before his eyes. The hall was vast, with long-drawn aisles and fretted vault. Chandeliers illuminated architecture. A long, flat-board stage that had a trough for footlights, and at its edge an orchestra pit. Ornate blocks and floral leafy rosettes in high relief accented the luxury. The scene unfolded a vision long ago. Workman Studios. Corporal saw another time, another place, industry beyond narrow focus of bottom line. He lamented how terrible the cost of greed, how new notions, corporate priority had come to replace everyday love and regard for hands making things. And upon the walls were fluted columns, between them paintings, pictures of deep woods which themselves opened upon coves and secret gardens whose waters reflected compounded a scene of amorous gods at sport, love-making with mythical creatures. And when his eyes returned to the drama, the show that ran upon the screen, at first he thought, Popeye. But no olive oil there. Instead he saw a white-hot blonde with long curly tresses bouncing from her shoulders. Remember, these were full-action figures. Then he realized the cartoon characters which played. They were he and she. They were locked in impossible embrace. Corporal heard the music score. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. He checked. He reached around his torso, touched his back. He had to see were his spine still in place. He wondered whether contortionists on view, a dream, or was it third-person glimpse, the camera's true capture, the hours previous delight, now projected with vivid light. Oh, the animation and color before him. He mulled it over. He was trying to discern what was real, what was not, and then fell to warm all over pleasant heat, and heard what he knew was the voice of the Lord. Ego, ego, arise. Why sleep now? It is dawn, and eat and drink, and all the eagles wait to watch you. And she, her face an inch away from his. She sighed and responded again to his query. It was 1,000 times better, she said. Corporal ran. He ran breakneck toward the horizon. It was late night, and the view of lower Manhattan lights, the buildings, street lamps, and bridges burned. Out the window, the illumination was awesome. Out the window view from the 25th floor of the high-rise. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm Stanley Pacion. I'd like to wish you a good afternoon here from New York City. That was Corporal. It's called, the subtitle, All Night Love Encounter. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.